The Key, November 1, 2013. He was excited. After long months of hard work, our dreamer was to finish his officer training and would soon be commissioned. That afternoon they rehearsed for hours on their final march for tomorrow's graduation. Again and again they went through the drill, making sure they executed each step in time and with precision. Later that evening, as our dreamer made his way back to the dorm, he felt a sense of completion and freedom. The long months of work were about to pay off, and he wondered where in the world he would end up next. As he walked, he became aware of the love of his life walking with him. They had always been together ever since he could remember, and yet they had kept their relationship a secret while here. The military frowned on relationships while in training. No one knew except them. They quietly walked up to their dorm. It was an old two-story wooden structure with a very spacious porch. Our dreamer sat down on the steps in the dim light as she made her way past him to her room. But before she could enter, someone approached her. "Hello," he said. "Hi," she replied. Even with his back towards them, our dreamer on the porch could hear every quiet word. "I was interested if you'd like to go out on a date." "No," she replied. Our dreamer smiled. What that guy didn't know was that they were a couple. Always were. Always would be. "Come on," he urged gently. "Look, here's the key to my place. Take it." "Look, you don't want someone like me," she said. "Good night." And with that she left. Our dreamer smiled. They were in love and always would be. Graduation came and went, and the two of them packed their things and headed home. She was driving her navy blue Cadillac CTS as our dreamer sat in the passenger side. They were talking, they were laughing, they were in love. The day was absolutely gorgeous. The blue sky, cool temperatures, the open highway. As he turned to face her in the seat, he looked down and saw a set of keys. His fingers toyed with them as they talked, but as he looked at the keys again, he noticed something wasn't quite right. He knew the keys to their home, the keys to their cars, but there was one key he didn't recognize. He looked up at her, and although she was focused on the highway driving, he knew she was aware of what he had just seen. She fought back the tears as his heart sunk and his mind went into shock. It was the key from the guy, the one who had propositioned her a few days ago. Our dreamer never knew until now that she had taken the key that night. He looked up at her, and while she said nothing, that look on her face said it all. His mind raced with thoughts, jumbled, scattered. Why, after all these years? The clicking of the turn signal jarred the dreamer out of his thoughts. He noticed she was pulling into a cement plant. The road was dusty and dry. She rolled her window down as the man in overalls came up. "What can I do for you?" he asked. "Can you take the rocks out of the trunk?" She popped it open. In the back were large boulders, round like large loaves of bread. "Can do." The two of them sat in silence as the man emptied the trunk. He then went to the back seat where their 13-year-old was asleep. The man turned him over like a rag doll. In fact, the young teen looked like a mannequin at first, and then, like Pinocchio coming to life, kicked the man in his mouth. The man let out a little whimper. He had lost a tooth, but in a bizarre reaction patted the teen on his head. He was proud of his self-defense skills. And then she pulled back onto the highway. Not a word was said any more on that absolutely gorgeous day, with blue sky, cool temperatures, and open highway. The key rested in the console, glistening in the sun between them.